is your friendly neighborhood unicorn. I don't know why I can't see my... Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. I thought I wasn't going to be able to see my chat. The last time I went live, it was kind of... it wouldn't let me see the chat, but I just wanted to get on real quick. Give an update. I haven't really slept much. At all. I gotta get ready to go to work in a little bit. Insane stuff. We're gonna find somewhere to go. Drove home yesterday. I just I don't know. Again, I'm everywhere. My Libra earrings are gone. I kind of miss them. I really miss them. I miss a lot of stuff, but I don't miss my kids because my kids are safe. My son's trying to figure out a way where if we can't go somewhere together or find somewhere together, because there's no shelters that'll take all of us, and it kind of leaves my sons out because they're 20 and 23, and they're not prepared. My 20-year-old just finally was able to find a job that he could get to, and everything, working with his brother. But it's a tourist destination. Well, a tourist spot. It's the zoo. And they don't give them hours like that, so they don't make a lot. So they have to find new jobs. And then they have to find a way to get there because we only got my van. They're going to have to get a car. It's so much. It's so much. I keep trying not to beat myself up because there was so many things I was planning to do or trying to figure out how to do, and it just didn't. Who's gonna be prepared for? Honestly, it's hard to think about. Of course, I've been on my phone so much, trying to handle everything. Call as many people as I could call. I'm almost sometimes I feel like I don't know who to call. There's so many people. I was at was at work yesterday. My boss let me come in and just use the phones, use the computer, use the Wi-Fi, whatever I needed to get stuff done. And it started raining. It started thundering and lightning. And that thunder was cracking, boy. And I was like so scared. I'm in a whole different building now. I'm in a like building, and I couldn't. It's crazy. On um I'm still trying to find someplace quick. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm sure something will come up. But I will on Saturday I have a workshop to go to for this organization called NACA, and they specifically help people become first-time home buyers. And not for nothing, I've been for ever since I've been able to. I took whatever savings I could take. Actually, I took all my savings when the ex left, and trying to pay the bills I could pay on time and whatever. So it did help boost my credit back up because my credit was horrible. It's still pretty low, but I've been doing things to kind of get it up. And um I don't. I'm sorry. I'm still in shock about everything. I'm mm. One of my boss's moms sends inspirational words and an inspirational message every morning since I met her a couple months ago. And she sent me one today. It said, God will bring you through every storm. So yesterday, me and the kids went back to the house to try to get some stuff. Try to get some last minute things. Everything is last minute things. We were trying to get, what we could. We went back to the house on Saturday and got some stuff, and then we went back yesterday. It's been raining all weekend, so nothing is dry. The amount of dust and debris that came from the attic and the roof and the drywall and everything, it's just terrible. Food in there spoiled. So everything, just smells bad and just it's wet. I'm sure things are starting to mold. There's a bat in there. spiders have started to. Well, we got a couple of things, and I told my kids. Well, my daughter couldn't go in because she's in the cast. I told my boys. I said, "All right, we gotta go." I said, "This is not. We can't linger. We have to get in. We have to grab, and we have to go." Kavadi was the one that went in and opened the front door to open the side door to get into the house, and then me and Johnny went through the side or whatever. But Kavadi had to be the last one because he was gonna go through the front and whatever. Kavadi remembered that his sister was sad about a shoe rack, a little $10 shoe rack that we had just bought. She was ready to put it up in her room. She asked me for a shoe rack, and I was able to get her one. And he tried to grab it because it was still in the box. We hadn't even opened it. He tried to grab it. He said he grabbed it and he felt something like he tried to shimmy it loose, but it wouldn't. It was stuck. And then he said he had a feeling he just needed to get out of there. He said the little bit of the drywall started to move a little bit. He got scared and he ran out. And he said, he's like, I can't. I said, I know. I said, come on. I didn't even know he went back for nothing. I thought he was just going through the door to lock the door and get out. And he said, he was like, yeah, I tried to get the shoe rack from McCoy, and I couldn't budget. And then I just as the drywall started moving or whatever. I didn't know what was moving. I just got out, and then he got in the car and he started breathing. My daughter, who was sitting in the front seat next to me, she said, I just heard something crash. I said, it's probably the rest of the roof. So Kavadi got out before the rest of the roof caved in. So many things I wanted to get. And, who knows when they come to try to demolish the house. Hey, Krish. Hey, thank you for coming in. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Thank you. Yeah. I called my boss, and my boss just started praying on the phone. And by this time, I'm in the van, and I'm shaking. I'm trying to be strong for my kids. I'm trying to be strong for me. I'm trying to be strong for the situation. But I know what I just walked out of. I know what we just lived through. And it's scary to think of. It's like half tears of joy and half, trauma. And just knowing what could have been. And I've had people tell me, to try not to think about it. Let me tell you something. When I made it to my office, because I took my kids back to my cousin's house, and I said I gotta go to my office. I'll be back. I gotta handle some business. I want to go handle the business. Look like it's gonna rain again, and if it is gonna rain again, I can't take my daughter with me because I can't get her cast with any. So much to do. She has a cast on her ankle, and I had to get her through the rain, and through the woods, and the fire department trying to lead us out, and through the mud, and she's just. But I get so overwhelmed with just knowing it could have been different. Even down to if I was still with my ex, it would have been different. You know what I mean? Because he would have sent my daughter back to her room. She would have went there and she would have been scared and she would have been crushed. My youngest son wasn't home. When he left, it was in my gut. It was in my gut, in my head. I was gonna say it out loud, but I don't be liking to project my fears onto my kids. And sometimes I would think about that tree, and I'd be like, okay, well, don't think negatively. You know how they say, but don't think it, and now it's gonna come. And I was just like, nah, I know what I feel. You know what I'm saying? And when he left to go to his friend's house earlier that afternoon, I said, well, at least if something happens and that tree was to fall, he won't be in his room. I said, I can get my daughter to my room. I can get Karate to my room. I didn't say nothing to him. I just said a silent prayer when I hugged him. I said, okay, I'll see you later. And then when he came back to my cousin's house on Sunday, he said I didn't know he had gone by the house by himself. Well, his friends had driven him around to the house or whatever. And when we found out, because he thought we were there, Kavadi was on the phone with him. He was like, do not go in that house, and you need to come back. You need to get over here. Get to where we are. Because AJ will get frozen in fear, and he won't move. And he'll break down, which is what he did. His friends had to, get him off the property. So he comes home, and he tells me, I'm just looking at everything, and I'm shaking, and I'm just like, he said, because Mom, if I didn't go to CJ's house, we had planned to play some video game that was on the PS5. And the PS5 was downstairs in the living room. And he was planning on playing it around 11 o'clock at night. And if anybody has played games with their friends, that shit don't end after a couple minutes. You up for hours. The tree fell at midnight. They was planning to be on games at 11. Because some of them had to work and they had to, decompress and all of that. And they just you gonna hear a lawnmower in a minute. I see my cousin's neighbor about to he said he's trying to get it in before the rain come. I hear that. But yeah, he said he was gonna be downstairs. With nobody getting out of downstairs if they were down there. The same room I dance in I would dance in every day. I just bought I'm here. I don't know if she see me. I'm in the van. I don't think she see me. But, yeah. Yeah, the whole thing was scary. My intuition kicked in on everything. My intuition kicked in the day. My intuition kicked in the days before. Also, if anybody knows what to do or who I could possibly reach out to with an issue with my landlord, because thank you so much, Krish. Let me make sure I didn't mess what you said. I think okay, you said insurance. I'm glad you said. I just scroll back up and see what you said. It's going to take longer than forever because I didn't have insurance. And I didn't have insurance because I didn't have a lease. And I didn't have a lease because I've been in the house since 2017. My property managers had changed. In February, I got a text message saying, hey, this is Katie, your new property manager. We emailed you a link to the portal. Go ahead and register. And that's it. I said, is something going to come in the mail? Because when I had a property manager change before in, I want to say it was 2019? 2020. When the property manager changed in 2020, or it might have been 2021, honestly. They sent out correspondence. You know what I'm saying? They sent messages. They sent not only did they send messages, but they sent a lease. They sent a letter in the mail telling me who they were, the name of the business. They were located in California, so they were managing the property remotely. And they sent everything. But this time in February, they didn't send me nothing but a link through a text message. I thought it was a scam. I didn't, and by this time, I had gotten assistance to get my rent caught up. I was able to take the last of my savings and and cover the rent, right? Chris, let me tell you, it gets crazier. I was able to cover the last by what was it, by January. I was at a zero balance, right? But I wasn't working yet. So now it's like, okay, I gotta try to come up again, to catch up again. That's when I was doing the game nights again. That's when I was trying to find some way to work. That's where I was doing contract work, trying to do shows and shit and whatever. So I did that, but come February, I get the new message, and I'm like, okay, are you gonna send me something? And they're like, no, we send an email. We send a welcome email. I'm thinking, okay, the welcome email is gonna say something. No, the welcome email just says, welcome to Rentvine. Please click this link to register into the portal. That's it. No name, no address, no phone number, nothing. Okay? I get to the link, and the link has my first, my last name. It doesn't have the list of the occupants. It doesn't have a lease on the documents. It doesn't have the contact information for the company. It just says the name of the owner, or something was Investdoor LLC. That's it. I went Google searching. I found some company in Australia. There's another something in the UK. Nothing. Right? There's not even a contact name. Nothing. There's no address. There's no nothing. There's no EIN. There's no FEIN. There's no nothing. There is nothing. I cannot find anything. And they asking me now. Months go past, and now I'm a little late. But then I start working in May. I got a part-time job in May. And I was able, over the course of May, when I was a program director for Performing Arts Summer Camp, so now at the camp just ended August 1st. August 2nd, I got COVID. And I was then my job hired me on permanently, but I'm still part-time. I couldn't even start when I wanted to because I had COVID. I had to recover from COVID. So they sent me a text message asking me, when am I going to pay the rent? Oh, here's another thing that happened. Before the rent paying, when they sent me the portal and I logged in, because again, I was skeptical, and I was like, I was even contacting the previous owners, Streetlight Rentals, and it was like they were gone, ghost. And this is the one that sent me the documentation and everything. They were on it. You know what I'm saying? Ghost. So then, I let them know the situation. Yes, the previous owners, they were working with me. They know that my family dynamic has changed. I've pretty much lost all my finances in the divorce. And I'm doing da. And they're like, okay, so you need some time to get assistance, and then you kind of like pay in bulk. I said, yes, that's what I do. They were like, all right, this is all the text messages. I got everything. Months later, now we in August, and they asking me if I could pay the rent. Oh, no, I gotta go back real quick. Before that happened, when I got the portal and stuff, and I explained that that's how things were done with the previous owner, and I catch up when I can. I've been there since 2017. But prior to 2020, payments on time, everything. I had a 5-bedroom house for $975. Right? Everything. 2017 to 2020, and even after the pandemic, when we were able to get some emergency funding, paid that off. So I was good. Listen, it was an older house though. I get there was a lot of issues, but 5-bedroom, $975. Yes. So now, I'm sorry, $925. So now, I get this new portal thing, and I'm like, and it says maintenance. So I'm like, let me try something. The previous owners were supposed to fix a lot of things. I got the screenshots from the maintenance. I have not had a working shower in my room for 3 years. 3 years. I use my kids' bathroom. And the previous work that I have videos on a lot of stuff that I've had to say something about. But anyway, I say, all right, if this is a legit company, let me test them. I put in a maintenance order. I tell them everything that's wrong. Before this happened, Matter of fact, when Hurricane Helene happened, a tree, a branch from that same tree that crushed my house had broke up some of the back porch. So I had to, for FEMA, I had to, provide information. They came out, they whatever. But the house also took damage to the roof, and it exposed water to the roof, and there was mold, black mold in my son's bathroom. So I asked them to come fix it. The previous owners never came to fix it. So now when this one came, I said, all right, let me tell them, listen, this was not fixed. This wasn't fixed. And then at the same time, my plumbing goes out, because it turns out, as old as the house was, the house had lead pipes, and all of it was corroded. It was a leak under. There was a terrible smell up underneath the house. Everything. It was like, it was so much happening. So I said, all right, let me test them. I put in a thing order, a maintenance order. They send somebody out. I'm like, okay. But they still never gave me a name or an address or a name to the company. And then the plumbers, the plumbing, all that, they go up at the house, they fix everything. They replace all the plumbing with PVC, and all of that. And then a week later, I get an invoice from the plumbers. I had told them when they came to the house, I said, I'm not the owner, I'm the tenant. The owner, he was like, okay, we'll get the address information from them, and the company information from them. I said, okay, cool. But then a week after the work is done, I'm getting a letter with Katie's name but my address. Why am I being sent the invoice? And then I'm like, okay, well, I got an invoice. Who do I forward it to? I didn't have nobody to forward it to, because they didn't send me nothing. So from February, I have not had a lease. I have not had a contact with a contact name other than Katie. And I gotta find the letter I have that has the last name that was given, but nothing, gone. Like nothing. So then I even the message that I've been texting, when they text me asking about the money, I said, because they were like, okay, well, we know you have a balance, when will you be able to pay it? I said, I just got a permanent position, but my start date has been pushed back because I have COVID right now. So when I can start paying on it, because now I'm able to work. But I said, could you send me your address? I might have to send a money order. Then I can mail it, right? No response. No response. Nothing. I told them that the house is destroyed through the text message. No response. I called the phone number of who I've been texting. No answer. Nothing. It does. So now, so one of my coworkers gave me a number to, what was it, they work in insurance, and my coworker didn't know I had insurance, so I'm calling the insurance organization or whatever that she told me, man. I said, okay, listen, this situation is even worse. I said, I don't have insurance, and I couldn't get insurance, and this is why I couldn't get insurance. I couldn't get insurance because when I got divorced, when my divorce was final, I took the X off my auto insurance, which had renters insurance. When I made that switch, they needed to have a lease. I didn't have a lease, so I couldn't get renters. I could get my auto, and the auto just lists me now. My full coverage is just on me, but I couldn't get renters. This was in April. I have been asking, when can I get a lease? Oh, unfortunately, we can't renew your lease until you pay off the balance. I don't feel comfortable with, no. Okay, all right, well, okay, but can you, okay, as I see, can you, what you call it? I said, can you send me a mailing address so I can send a money order and I can start paying on it? They were like, how much can you pay? I said $1,000. I was really gonna pay $2,000. What was owed on it showed $8,000, including all the late fees and stuff. And they yeah, I had car insurance, but rentals, yes, because of the lease. I changed everything over when the divorce was finalized. I took the X off the insurance, and had to get a whole new policy. And with that policy, they said they couldn't give me renters because I didn't have the lease. So I was like, all right. I had issues even getting my daughter registered for school because I had the previous lease, and I was able to use that. But still, it's like, so because they wouldn't provide me a lease, I could get renters insurance, and I have no insurance, in my whole house and all my belongings are gone. My daughter's whole room is gone. She just got gifted some clothes and donated some clothes, and someone bought her some shoes and stuff like that. And we got to get everything for her. And my son, all his clothes are gone. The closet, when the roof, when the tree came down, it did something to jam the closet. So now the closet can't open and we can't get nothing. So, and we can't go back because the house is too dangerous to even try to get into. They're going to have to rip the side of the house off or something, and I got to try to, I don't know. But anyway, so that's the issue with the insurance. So if anybody knows anything about, I contacted the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. And because what the insurance place said was start there, call them. You might have to put in a complaint because it sounds like they were operating without a license. And if they were operating without a license in South Carolina, then I might, they might be able to help, or I might have a case or something. So I'm gonna need legal representation. And I just have to. I just got so much. Like my son was telling me this yesterday when we had to talk about the possibility of them not being able to go where me and my daughter go, and they got to figure out what to do on their own, and they got to try to get new jobs and pull together and be roommates and stuff like that. My youngest son is scared. He's scared. My oldest son is like, all right, let's figure it out. And he's like, he just started work like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? And he's terrified. And I'm like, okay, if this is what we got to do, we're going to find a way to do it. And if there is a way for us to get a house where we can all be together, y'all still have to get to a point where, because they've been talking about wanting to move out and everything, but this is like like everybody's got to go. So, we're just trying to figure. Their father, honestly, yes, but he is limited. He just moved into a new place because my oldest had asked, well, what if he went to go live with his dad? My youngest was trying to go stay with a friend. That staying with the friend isn't going through, and their father just moved into a restricted living situation, so he can't even add my son on the lease and can't slyly get him in because the whole building is key fob. He's got a studio. When I say he just moved, like less than a month ago, his father just moved. Their father just moved. He even came up with the idea maybe my boys can go up to New Jersey and stay with their grandmother and help their grandmother out because their grandmother have a big house. Her husband just passed away and she could use the help, but a lot of things went on the way that their grandfather managed the money and the home. They might not even have the home, and that home is big. It is a mansion. It is a mansion. I ain't gonna lie. It's in East Orange, New Jersey. It is a mansion, and they're about to lose it. They might lose it. My kid's grandmother, she can't hold it. She can't hold it down. She's older, but she still works 2 jobs. She's a nurse. She's Jamaican. Their grandfather was Jamaican. He just passed away a couple months ago. And he just, he's left her in a situation. She left everything in his care to take care of, and so now so they can't go to Jersey. Even if I sent them up there with a couple $1,000 to start off with, I think he said something like she found out that in the water bill alone, they're backed up $9,000 in just the water bill, because like I said, the house is huge. She can't cover that. So they're trying to figure out how to get her somewhere. So yeah, but I have a lot to figure out. My van is starting to, shake a little bit. I gotta go figure out what I can do to get service, because I gotta keep my vehicle. Y'all listen, when the fire department came, they had to break in the door to get us out. When they came, they said, "Is that your van in the front?" I said, "Yes." They said, "Well, you're not gonna be driving it." I damn near passed out. I'm already in shock because a tree fell on my house. We in the dark, it's raining, water's pouring in, and I'm trying to like get everything done. But then they go back out and they say, hold up, my oldest is Kavadi's coming to me real quick. Doors is open. Let me see what Kavadi got to say. Hey.
I can't hear you.
No.
We're folding up the beds now.
Okay.
Just letting you know. So if you don't, come in and we're like, "Where's the bed?" And,
Okay.
All right. Bring it
down. So yeah, they come back and they say, okay, it was just the branches. Well, I tell you, Kavadi took the lead. Crush, I don't know if you follow me on TikTok, but the videos, I was recording the phone conversation with their father when it happened. So you hear Kavadi try to, calm me down, like, mom. And I'm like, I got it. I'm okay. Just you talk. Scariest thing I've ever been through in my life. And I felt it coming. Yeah, I did. And the koi, the princess, she was, trying to keep it together. She was in shambles, boy, but she kept it through. She was gonna get to that cast and all. She was gonna follow me, and we was gonna get through that. I'm pushing through. Like, I'm scratched up, my legs is all bruised up. I'm using my leg to brace this one big branch that fell to get it out the way so it doesn't scratch her. I'm making a entry hole. I said, and the fire department had given me the flashlight to get in front, and because it was all lawn, and it was slippery because of the when they brought an excavator to dig up the ground to put in the new pipes, so that was still settling, and we had to just be careful. I'm just trying to make it through. Okay, yeah, you'll see it. I'm just trying to make it through. But we get and they move the van up to the front, and we get in the van. And I had a backpack. I had grabbed my hard drive because I know I have a lot of digital files and stuff. I grabbed the folder of whatever important papers I could find at the time. I put my hoodie on. I got my daughter in my clothes because we couldn't get to her room. She, and she was dressed for nighttime. Let me say, my daughter ran into my room. Moments before it happened because the thunder had cracked so hard it scared her. She ran into the room, and I'm like, "Yeah, come in." Minutes before this happened, I said, "I know some things in an emergency to do, but I want to know more." Yeah. When I say minutes before this happened, I said, "But I want to be more prepared. I said, "We're gonna come up with a plan. We're gonna do better." As a family, we're going to do better. And in the event of an emergency, we're going to know how to do it. And I did not know that I was going to have to execute immediately. My daughter was going to go back for her phone. I said, "Don't worry about your phone." I said, "We'll get this before the tree fell." I said, "Don't worry about your phone. Just come on." I said, "Just stay in here with me. It'll be all right. You'll get your phone later. Your phone is on the charger. Don't worry about it." Had she gone back for her phone, because remember, she's in a cast. She broke her ankle. The fire department had to grab her crutches. In fact, they're right there. Just got to get new crutches. They're a little bent up, but so and it's been raining so much down here. All it's been doing is raining. When I was sick with COVID last week, the whole week it rained. And y'all, that tree is so